Hello everybody, welcome to this video that I'm doing as a final project for my Theater 160 class. So in this video I'm going to be talking about the the project that we did over the semester, which is for throughout the semester we did 3 recordings. One of the recordings was at the beginning of the semester, the second one is towards the midterm, and then the third one was near at the end of the semester. And the way this was set up was so we had to bring in 2 pieces of text. So I chose a news article and a part of a story. Now it could have been a monologue or something else, but all you needed was 2 pieces of readings so that you could bring in, and you had to read them in front of the camera. And as soon as the sessions were over, we had to review or look at the videos that we look at the videos of ourselves actually, and then once we did that, we had to do a self-reflection, and this was all done in order to help us see what our strengths were and what our areas are that we could possibly use some improvements on. So without further ado, let's get into it. For the recording at the beginning of the semester, I went in there and I pretty much read my article in front of the camera, and right after I got access to the video, I actually saw a few things. So some of the strengths that I saw for my first time around were that I was able to project my voice loud enough, so the volume wasn't really an issue, and I made a pretty decent amount of eye contact, which is a pretty good thing. I noticed some minor flaws though. I noticed that my speech was very choppy, that when I spoke, the flow wasn't really that well. So that was one thing I needed to work on. And another thing was my instructor actually pointed it out, and I kind of felt it too, that I was too tense. This was due to the fact that I just needed to breathe more. Breathing is so important, and I've come to realize it because when I didn't do it, I really felt super tense, and it actually helped around the second time around when I began to breathe more during my presentations. So the second time rolled around, and I noticed a few consistencies with my strengths. So after reading the 2 articles and viewing the video on it for the midterm, I realized that I still had the volume down, which was pretty good. And this time I actually breathed a lot more, and it really showed because I looked a lot less tense compared to the first time, and I was able to kind of pace myself a little better. And I realized that some of the weaknesses that I had were I had some new ones and also some consistency. I noticed that for articulating words, I wasn't doing that well. I was still kind of mumbling the words that I was trying to say, and it made for kind of unclear communication. And I also realized that when I was reading, I was kind of stumbling over a few words and sentences, and that's because I didn't utilize what we had learned in the previous week of class, which was before you go in and you start to read off a paper or a monologue, it's so important to actually go in there and annotate it, because this helps you realize where you have to do certain pauses, where you have to emphasize certain words, or where you have to like say something a specific way in order to emphasize it more or downplay it. So it was actually recommended that I annotate the text, and that's what I really decided to do for my last video. So then a few weeks later came time to do the final recording, and I have to say, after viewing the 3 videos, out of those 3, the final recording was actually my best shot. It was actually the best one that I did out of all of them. Now I realized that I was still being loud enough, and I made really good eye contact, but also I was articulating my words a lot better, and I realized that I was using more variety in terms of pitches, and I seemed to be more engaged when I was speaking and reading. Unfortunately, I realized that I was still a little choppy at times, and some of the things that I noticed that I still need to work on are tension. Even though I did improve my breathing, I realized that I'm still a little tense when I'm presenting or when I'm speaking. I know I'm going to go back and even when I view this video, I'm going to see that I'm still a little more tense than I'd like to be. I also noticed that during my presentation, I used some vocal fillers, and this was not only in the videos that I noticed, but in the in-class presentations that I did as well. So that's something that I really have to work on. So vocal fillers are words like you know, they're just words that when you use to speak, they're not really efficient. They don't really help you get your point across. So one thing that I've been doing to kind of help me out with that is I was told that when I want to say a vocal filler, I have to just stop and think about it for a little bit and actually say what I want to say so that the vocal filler isn't coming out. That's kind of a snapshot of how the three recordings went over the course of the semester. And this was a really interesting project and assignment because I was able to see myself and really break down and analyze areas in which I was doing well and I needed improvement. And this was really good because I really I really feel like I had a lot of personal growth in terms of presenting and also just talking in front of people and making making whatever I had to say clear and communicating. Overall, this class was really helpful and it really helped me grow into certain areas of my life. And the good thing is that I'll be able to take the skills that I learned from here and take them to wherever I'm going to go in the future because these are skills that you're really going to need in your future career or whatever you're going to do because communication is always important. We're humans. It's something we're always going to use and we're always going to need to really be clear on in order to succeed in life. So that about does it for me. Hope you have a good semester and thanks for watching this video.